why you came here. Where are you from?
Okay, we live here only in Belgium. And my name is Anandarupa.
Anandarupa. Very nice.
And
Why did you come?
it's a great privilege and honor to hear from you for devotees in your Sangha, and actually to revisit and refresh how to present Krishna's books to anyone from
and refresh how to present Prabhupada's books, Krishna's books to anyone. Okay, I like that. Very succinct and helpful. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, my name is Dirgha, and I'm just excited to be here to rededicate and, just like you said, relearn and revisit this great art of being able to present these books to anyone and form a connection.
Never gets old, right?
No.
Thanks for organizing this.
From Gaithersburg. And coming to your seminar is always so enlightening. It's just like going down to book distribution every time, starting from ground zero in a sense. And learning the seminar is like that. Yes. Thank you so much for.
Yeah, the first time I met Loka and Vidal was at a seminar that I did in New Vrindavan 24 years ago. And it was in a much smaller room, and they came in, and afterwards they grabbed me on the way out and said, "Can you come to Washington, D.C.?" That's when we first started. Thank you for keeping it going after 2.5 decades.
Thank you all for having so many.
You're up.
Hare Krishna, my name is Anshul Singha. I'm here to learn about the distribution, how to challenge, how to deal with different situations when we are out in the field. So just wanted to.
Good topic. How to deal with different situations. Very good.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. My name is Dirgha Raj Joshi. I'm from Plattsburgh, Maryland, and I'm here to learn more. Every time actually I hear this seminar or you talk, even a 2-3 minutes talk before I go to work for group discussion, I learn something new. So yeah, I'm here to look forward to learn something new today about group discussion.
The reason I'm here is I don't feel motivated to go out on a weekend. I feel too overwhelmed, so I want to see how I can be motivated.
Fantastic. That's very good. I mean, not to feel overwhelmed, but to want to come to get unstuck and feel that there's a way, even when I feel overwhelmed, I can still go out and experience what it's like to face my fears, go out into the great unknown, and do the best. Who's the person behind the camera? I would like to know.
Hare Krishna, my name is Bhakti. I'm married to Vasisesika. I'm here to support him on this seminar.
Okay, thanks. Okay, all the way in the back, we have some stalwarts back there we'd like to hear from.
Hare Krishna. My name is Dirgha Das, and we are from Rockville. Myself and my wife Anandarupa Dasi. I am here just in the mood of service. She likes to meet people, share Krishna, distribute books, and I'm her chauffeur, coolie, like the hauler, for the books and any other service that is needed to do it in the background. Actually, very much the role like your better half, Maharaj. So just doing it every time.
Thank you very much. You say, did you go? No, I'm kidding.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hold the mic close.
Hare
First
Krishna.
rule of the seminar is when you make a comment, keep the mic adjacent to your chin.
My name is Vandana, and I'm here, to gain association and, hear from all the learned sources and then develop my consciousness towards Krishna.
Vandana. Okay, let's start with Vandana. Joshi Prabhupada, Joshi Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radhamaya Mohan, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. If you so desire, please fulfill our sankalpa today, if you so desire, to learn more about the distribution, to expand our scope of teaching Krishna consciousness beyond what we know now, so we can be more effective in serving your lotus feet. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Now we're going to try the first law of communication, being in the field, and that is to move a little closer. We're way too far away from one another. This is not like an auditorium presentation. Those of you in chairs, the chairs are not bolted down, and there's no blueprint that says you have to sit so far away. So everyone please move up from the front closer. And everyone else move your chairs, try to make them geometrically appealing or in good order, and come closer. Everyone, please. Inconvenience regretted, but you'll like it better. We'll have a much better time, more communication, more eye contact, and less feeling like we're speaking to people far away. Because we're all close in heart and soul because we're on the same mission together. And we're developing today a sense of common purpose based on the teachings of our previous acharyas, our founder acharya, Divine Vasisesika Dasa, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and finding their purpose and what they deem to be the most cherished of all services will gain inspiration. And we'll also talk about ways in which we can practically execute these types of services that are considered to be the highest sadhana. So, we found a Madonna. Do we have a certified cartoonist in the house? As is, who's our certified cartoonist? You can show me the certification. Is somebody running the slideshow or am I? I don't know. You didn't. Just put it on. We do on the part 2. This is a song we can sing because it's still before 12 o'clock. And this song, a beautiful song written by Bhakti, which talks about the ways in which the soul sleeps into the world. Please feel free to we will start with Chief Job. In this song, written by Bhakti, the author of Bhakti of the song says that the soul is sleeping and he says, please wake up. And he's giving a reminder that when we come into the womb as a soul controlled by the material energy, those fortunate souls can remember 100 lifetimes previously. And then they pray to souls in the womb that, please, don't let me again fall victim to Maya. But there's a way in which that Maya is so overwhelming when they come out into the material world. Still, the call of Mayic energy is so powerful that they again succumb, and not until the next birth in the womb that they remember. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur then, through the voice of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is saying that I've come as an avatar, Lord Chaitanya is saying, and I'm here just to save you. This is his mission, to save the conditioned souls. And it says, Anichi Ashwani Maya Nashi Parlam, Harinam Mantra Lao Tumi Mani, which means I brought medicine. So this is a nice metaphor for us as preachers beyond borders. There's also doctors beyond borders. We know that organization, they go out of their way to go to war-torn places and places where there are epidemics just so they can help people who are suffering, because medically they have a sense that I can do something for them, so I must do that. When you're on an airplane, when we were just flying here 2 days ago, there was a call from the flight attendants saying if there's a medical professional on board, please ring your call button. And those who are medical professionals, they were happy to ring their call button because they're trained for that. And they knew that they would be able to do something. And they also felt a calling to do it, otherwise they wouldn't have spent 15 years in medical school and $700,000 in student loans to get there. So there's a way that we also are trained specifically so that when the call button is rung and the flight attendant says, if anybody knows how to administer medicine, please come. And that's what this song is. It's a call from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, look at you devotees, you have the medicine. So now, go distribute it, give it to everybody else. And also take it yourself. Make sure you're begging for it and taking copious amounts of the medicine and Mahameshwara. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhu, Charane Pogia, She Harina Mantra, Loyalo Megya. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I followed this process given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I was able to attain the mercy of the Lord. So the implication is that we follow the Acharya system. What do they do in order to perfect themselves? And we follow in their footsteps. Pada Putina Mahakritina, say the demigods to Lord Krishna in the womb. The way of perfection is to catch a boat across the ocean of material existence, to follow the footsteps of great acharyas. So this beautiful song, and we can sing it together. Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole.
Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
আছে তোমারা
আমি বিনা বন্ধু আরে কে আছে তোমারা Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare असुधी पाया नसीबारो लागी हम महामंत्रला तुमी Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Sharani Puriya Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai 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 Hari Hari Bol Oh Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol I first offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, who with heart and soul followed the spiritual master. Pashyata Deshtani said, go to the west.
West. Preach to the Westerners and make sure that you give them Krishna consciousness. This is the beyond the borders order of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In some corporation or any project that we begin, we start with mission statement, vision statement. Prabhupada wrote his in his pranam mantras. And in his pranam mantra, Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He gave this mantra to all of us to remember his own mission statement. And his mission statement was that he's coming on the order of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And specifically, he's coming to preach to those outside of Bharatvarsha, those in Paschatya Desh. Desh is a place. Paschatya means those people in the West who don't know about Krishna consciousness. Everyone's qualified. We're following the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami says, Kirata Punanda Pulinda Pulkasha Abhirashunga Yamanaka Sadaya Yineja Bhavaya Pashaya Shaya Shudyati Tasmai Vishnu Namaha. Because of the power of the Vaishnavas and the way that they are instruments for Lord Vishnu's mercy, anyone in any part of the world who's disconnected with the culture of Varnashrama can become perfect by hearing the message of the Bhagavad through the Vaishnavas. That's our mission. And Srila Prabhupada, although he preached to everyone and he brought the mission back to India, he very specifically wanted all of us stationed around the world, here in Washington, D.C., in Ashburn, in Catherine? Clarksburg, Baltimore, etc. These are strategic points. Why are they strategic? Because we are Paschatya Desh. We are there to fulfill the mission of Prabhupada, of preaching to the Westerners, to making sure they're able to come close to Krishna consciousness. This is way beyond borders. When Prabhupada left India, many people told him, first of all, it's illegal to leave India. For sadhus, you shouldn't leave Bharatvarsha shores. You'll be contaminated and it'll be ineffective. Prabhupada didn't listen to that even for 1 second, because he had read the Bhagavatam, he knew the Bhagavatam, and he knew the order of his spiritual master. Coming to the West and introducing Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada made many adjustments. You'll notice it in his purports where he said that although he was being criticized even as he came to America to preach, because he was mixing with Westerners, he was adjusting the environment so that Westerners would feel comfortable, that Westerners had certain lifestyles, and he was accommodating those just so they could Krishna wherever they were and whatever condition they were in at that time, to remember Krishna. That was his principle. So this is our mission. We're following in Prabhupada's footsteps to go to anyone and everyone. It's also Lord Chaitanya's mission, not considering who is a so-called fit or unfit candidate. All souls are eligible. And we don't know who's ready. We have to assume that everyone has the potential to awaken to Krishna consciousness, and to the best of our ability, give an opportunity for them to awaken. I'll start with a basic principle to save you all a lot of time. So there's a few principles you may take away from this today that can be extremely useful in your own outreach, in whatever venue you're preaching in. And that is to look for the right fruits. When we go to pick fruits from trees, we're selective, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Yep. We don't take unripe fruits and yank them off the tree or try to break the branch off. We know that in due course of time they'll ripen, And then our duty as gardeners or fruit pickers is to find ones that are ready. This is one of the principles of preaching given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. Ishvare tarineshu balisheshu dusatsucha prema maitri kripopeksha yakaroti samadhimaha. The middle is for preachers. There's Kanishta. Kanishtas don't think about others. They think about their own relationship with Krishna, and it's mostly only in the temple. They don't know about worshipping devotees as a way to worship Krishna. As Krishna said, if you want to worship me, worship my devotees. They don't know that. Sha'anyeshu, they also don't know that Krishna is in everyone's heart. And the highest method of worshiping Krishna is to go to each living entity, especially the fallen souls, to give them an opportunity to reawaken to Krishna consciousness. No higher method. This is Lord Shiva speaking in the Bhagavatam. Sarva Praisojana Parama Aradhanam Tati Purushasya Kilatmana. It says, there is no higher, Srila Goswami observing Lord Shiva, who had just for the sake of saving the universe quaffed the poison ocean. And Shukadeva said, that's a Vaishnava. Tapyante Lokatapena, because of Lokatapena, the suffering of all the people in the world, the Vaishnava takes some trouble on the edge of her head in order to take people out of suffering, because they have the medicine. And it's Ashaudi Maya. Ashaudi means medicine. Parama Aradhanam. Aradhana means service. Radha comes from the word Aradhana. The highest service, Parama Aradhanam, is to take some trouble upon oneself. For us it means taxing our brain. How can we translate Krishna consciousness in such a way that people who have no idea what it is can take it? Or people who think they have an idea of what it is will still take it. And there are many nuances beyond that as well. And when we take the trouble, what's trouble? Let's just say we're going to go all together on book distribution. First of all, my mind is troubled because I start thinking, what will happen when I walk out the door? Wouldn't we think that? Will I have to perform? Will I be exposed that I'm a weakling and that I don't know how to talk to people? Will I be unable to perform magic tricks on the street for people to take books and I'll be on the top of the list and my name will be read? I won't be able to achieve that. I have many worries. What if somebody says, get out of my way? I hate you people. What will I say then? How will I feel? How will my faith stay intact? All these feelings, although we may not identify any one of them, they're combined into a ball of worries. And when we say, okay, the car's out there, all you have to do is get in, we're going to take you out to a spot, and we're going to, yeah, but what will happen? We take trouble when we overcome that fear, walk out the door. I'm going to help you overcome that also, because I overcome it every time I go out on book distribution, and that's one of the main tricks, not only to going out on book distribution, to doing any service, is to cross beyond the maelstrom of the mind that convinces us that something worrisome is about to occur because I'm going into the unknown. When we take that trouble upon ourselves, we grow as a person. One of you said you want to learn how to overcome many different kinds of circumstances, obstacles. In overcoming obstacles in preaching, that's how we become strong. Do you know anyone who's mature in any field or in life in general who has not faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable and then somehow or other found a way to overcome them? That's what makes one wise, that's what makes one mature, and that's what makes us rise in our devotional service. So we become capable of taking shelter of Krishna to overcome our obstacles. And the proving ground for that a proving ground for that is going out to teach others Krishna consciousness, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And you have to learn how to be ready for anything. And that is the highest sadhana, is to organize your life to give mercy to others. To go beyond your borders. What is my border? I have my living room, my favorite chair. I have my little stack of books. And of course, if they're Bhagavatams, we should sit and read for as many hours a day as possible and chant. But beyond the door, where we can lock it and put a sign on saying, do not disturb, or if somebody knocks, we can look to the peephole and not answer because we don't want to be troubled. We are allowed to trouble ourselves by knocking on other people's doors. And as much as it's a trouble for us, it's a trouble for them too. Because we're knocking on their door and they're thinking, oh no, should I answer or shouldn't I answer? And if we approach somebody on the street, they're thinking, this person is here to tell me that my life is a waste of time. That's why they have that book in their hand. How do we make them feel at ease so that we can give them an opportunity to read the Bhagavad Gita and use their own God-given intelligence to make a decision to serve Krishna? All these considerations and the actual physical execution of the preaching of Sankirtan in all its iterations is tapyante. It's a kind of austerity, tapa. There's trouble to be faced. And in that trouble, we advance in devotional service. If you're doing it, don't look down, but you're making advancement. And you'll also, as a sign of advancement, be more inclined to hear and chant. Shushu Shoshanasya Vasudeva Prakashi. Syamahatsevya Punya Tirtana Shevana. There's a way in which when you do great service, the best service, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas. Acharyas say, Paschapta Deshitarne, try to preach in West, to the Westerners. And when you do that, then they become pleased. It's a transcendental system. You get taste for hearing and chanting about Krishna. Everyone okay so far?
Yes.
Okay. 7 people said yes. Everybody else is languishing. Let me show you some slides. Clicker? Okay. I'll take you through a few slides just to talk about the legacy. Why are we here? Why are we sitting here? Prabhupada sat in this room. Did you know that? Sat right there. I was here in 1976. And that was his Prabhupada's Vyasasana. He came here, he went on morning walks every day, and he talked about these very subject matters we're talking about now. So, that's not working. Maybe. Yeah. I think maybe somebody could, do we have are there any engineers in here? Does somebody want to figure this out? Is it missing a battery or whatever it is? Why is it not registering? It'll be better if we can figure it out. In the meantime, let's go forward. You see if you can figure it out. Sampradaya. Who's heard the word? 3 people? Okay, let's all say it so we've all heard it. Sampradaya.
Sampradaya.
Sampradaya means giving the complete gift. Some means complete. And pradaya means to give something. So that's what we are. We are gift givers. And how did the Sankirtan movement start? Where's Vandana? Vandana. Vandana, are you still here?
Yes.
She was the last one to say, Vandana, our movement started because of your namesake, which is prayer. Advaitacharya had a desire that people not languish in ignorance in the material world. You can read about it in Chaitanya Bhagavatam, how crazy people were. They're crazy now too. The material world turns people crazy and gives stupid things to do. The material nature presents a menu of stupid things that you can do. And people who are in ignorance just go through the menu and they pick up every stupid thing they can do. And that's what everyone's doing in the material world, stupid stuff. So Vaitacharya, who's completely serious wanted the unserious to become serious about their ultimate goal of life, so he prayed. And he said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I can't do this alone. You please come and save these people. And that's our success in preaching. What can we do? But if we pray, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please empower me. Please give me the resources to teach Krishna consciousness to other people. Tesham satata yuktanam vajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yenam amupayantite. Krishna says, I'm just waiting to give you good intelligence. You just please ask for it. So we start by praying and praying and praying. And the harder you pray, the more successful you'll be. So the first lesson of Krishna consciousness in all its aspects, and most particularly in having the wherewithal to teach it to others, is to pray hard. How should we pray? Hard. We should pray hard. It means really get in touch with your angst. If you have angst about your life, if you have angst about the state of the world and you talk about it and you say, the world's really messed up, what should we do? Pray. And how should you pray? Hard. That's what Sri Advaita Acharya did. He prayed hard, and because he prayed hard, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world. Ta-da! Thank you, engineers. Let's give a hand. I'll never forget you for that. That was a good thing. Okay, so Acharya prayed and Lord Chaitanya came. Later, Lord Chaitanya says in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Acharya, you're the one who called me. I was sleeping on the milk ocean. I heard your loud cries to please come help, and I came here. And when Lord Chaitanya came, there was hope in the world. And he started a movement. Movement means something's got to move. So what parts move? There's two parts to the Hare Krishna movement. Only. One is chant Hare Krishna. What's the first part?
Chant Hare Krishna.
That'll get you 1,500 on your SAT. Let's go for 1,600. What's the second part? Is to teach others. What's the second part?
Teach others.
What's the first part?
Chant Hare Krishna. Teach others. Teach others.
No, this is teach others.
Teach others. Chant Hare Krishna. Teach others. Chant Hare Krishna. Teach others. Chant.
If you get those two parts and you put them together, 1,600 on your SAT. And that's Krishna consciousness. There's only two parts. It's very simple. It's not complicated. It doesn't require a business administration degree. It requires heavy prayer, and it requires two parts. Chant Hare Krishna and teach others. We do need management, but we want to manage the results. When you pray really hard, and then you chant Hare Krishna, and you teach as many people as you can, then people are going to come pouring in the door and say, what do I do now? That's when you need your business administration to say, okay, how are we going to accommodate all these people? How are we going to give them a place where they can also practice Krishna consciousness? And that's our movement. Two parts. You want the quiz again?
Chant Hare Krishna. Teach others.
And if somebody wakes you up at 1 in the morning,
Chant Hare Krishna.
what's the Krishna consciousness movement, you'll say? And you can throw in, pray hard. Okay, that's it. Seminar's over. Thanks for coming. You know everything now. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the concept of the marketplace. He wanted everyone to take marketing, quantitative reasoning skills, qualitative reasoning skills. All has to come together. It's a creative art, how to market something to people. You have to think, what's the market? Right now, big political campaigns going on, everyone's thinking, what do they want to hear over here? What about over here? Let's segment the market. These people in the swing states, they want to hear about jobs. People over here, they want to hear about, I don't know, whatever it may be. We look for, what are the niche markets? Who are the people out there? How will we offered it to them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he noticed, I'm wearing the same kind of clothes everybody else. Now they're starting to disrespect me. What should I do? Oh, let me rebrand. I'll put on a sannyasi outfit. And then everyone will come and bow down. It was just a pure rebranding. It was all for marketing. It had nothing to do with some varnashram idea. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was all about marketing the two aspects, chant Hare Krishna, teach others. So he looked for a way to market the holy name. And as far as the scope of his mission, what was it?
Every town, every village.
Every town. Go ahead and say, don't be afraid to say it.
Every town and village.
Yes, we're afraid to say it. It was like, how's that going to happen? And that's what everyone said when Prabhupada came to America. It's like, yeah, give me a break. Please don't do this. It's not going to happen. Don't go and get disappointed and maybe just overwhelmed and you're old and it'll happen. But Prabhupada took the mission. He said every town and village means
Every town and village.
yeah, every town and village means every town and village. So we have the freedom to sketch out and look at the whole world and say, every town and village. And at a certain point, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic campaign, the movement became hidden for some time because this is the influence of the material world. At any time, we can be distracted by 1 degree, then 5 degrees, then 100 degrees, and next thing you know, people are making stuff up. That Lord Chaitanya said this, Lord Chaitanya said that, but it was all lies. This whole idea of the parampara requires vigilance. It has to be maintained carefully, artfully, thoughtfully. So this is our job, to be the protectors of the parampara and carry on the mood of the parampara to others. After it had become hidden, it was underground. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the great reviver of the Sankirtan movement, appeared and in 1891 reopened the marketplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at Surabhi Kunj, where we all go for our yatra when we're in Mayapur, and we sit down in that place and we pray. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and how do we pray? Hard. We pray hard. And he said, the marketplace of the holy name is now open again. Haribol.
Haribol.
Really Haribol.
Haribol.
And he predicted that there would be a personality who would appear, who would spread it all over the world. He also prayed for a Ray Vishnu and his family. Meanwhile, even as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement had disappeared, gone underground, there were always saints on the planet who were keeping the pure holy name going and the pure teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes it comes forth in a gush, like a waterfall, says the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That says the Srimad Bhagavatam. Other times, saints are silent, just like waterfalls. Sometimes they're dormant, and they pour forth. So, always there's some saint on the planet, Bhagavatam says, otherwise the world would cease to exist. And when the ray of Vishnu appeared in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was self-effulgent even as a child. He, the son of Bhaktivinoda, who was that ray of Vishnu, expanded the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, codified it, organized it, and spread it all over India in the form of the Gaudiya Math, the glorious organization that brought to light Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. And when the disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, named Abhaya Charanaravinda, came to his Guru Maharaj in a humble way, thinking, what can I do? I'm a householder and I'm on the outside. He asked, what can I do to help you, Guru Maharaj? And his Guru Maharaj said, and you can all read it together.
If you ever get money, print books.
And Srila Prabhupada said, I took this up from his mouth, that he was very fond of books. This is something we want to lean into and find out. What is it? What's the thing I can do that's most pleasing to my Guru Maharaj? And our Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, made that marketplace swell all over the world. He took it from India, then to America, then to UK, and subsequently he went to every continent of the world and made sure that Krishna consciousness was open. With him he brought the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in 3 volumes. And here, he writes in a pamphlet where he's promoting his 3-volume set of Srimad Bhagavatam, 60 volumes of elaborate English version. He only had 3 volumes. He's advertising 60 volumes. In fact, Prabhupada sold his books before they were written. Did you know that? In universities, he sold what's called standing orders. Means they took the books and said, anything else printed by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, all buy. Those are called standing orders. And Prabhupada had this determination, 60 volumes. And he said all over the world for scientific knowledge of God. At this time when he made this pamphlet, he had no money, he had nobody to pick him up and transport him, no company jet. And he's advertising that it's going to be all over the world. That was his vision. So, Lord's plan, you see that Lord's plan stamp? This is what Prabhupada writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita was Lord Chaitanya's plan. I want everyone to be immersed. To be what? Immersed. Somebody look up immersed. Look it up on Etymology online, Etymological Dictionary. I want everyone to be what?
Immersed.
To be what?
Immersed.
In this inundation of love of Godhead. That was Lord Chaitanya's plan. And what does immersed mean? What? Is that a question or answer? I'm asking from your dictionary. Involve oneself deeply in a particular activity. Inundated could mean you're getting drowned. So there's a sense of a massive movement of spreading Krishna consciousness, love of God in all over the world. That's what Lord Chaitanya's plan was. Is that clear? What was Lord Chaitanya's plan? No, don't worry. Tell me.
He wanted to be.
He wanted everyone.
In this invasion of love of God.
Yeah. He wanted everyone to be immersed, and he wanted the world to be inundated with love of God. And it's easy to remember. He wanted to cover the whole world. It's a massive movement. So here's Prabhupada's plan. Let's see if we can find a parallel between the Lord's plan and Prabhupada's plan. By printing books, we can actually inject our movement into the masses of people all over the world by printing books. Okay, everyone stand up just for a minute and stretch for the season. And when you stretch up high, say, go run.
Gauranga.
Try one more time. Try to touch this thing. 1, 2, 3.
Gauranga.
1, 2, 3.
Gauranga.
Okay. Prabhupada said, I like this idea of distributing books and preaching, that it was Lord Chaitanya's plan. And so we are the sampradaya of the book. When I wrote my first book called Our Family Business, I asked His Grace Rabindranath Swarup Prabhu, the great Vaishnava scholar, to write the preface for it. And he read the whole book. He also then told me about his research and his great preface to the book. He said, you see this picture?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Is there anything odd about it? Anachronistic, Lord Brahma's holding the book. Why is that odd? Beginning in creation. But it's a representative of what we do. We give knowledge. And so Rabindranath Swarup Prabhu found this quotation presenting that we are the sampradaya of the book. Would you like more evidence? Say yes.
Yes.
Who's that?
Yes.
What's he sitting there writing? Who's this? What's he holding in his hand? Who's that? What's he holding before? Who's this? What's he sitting there writing? Who are they? Who are they famous for? Who's this? What's he posing with? His books. Who's that? What's the background behind his books? Who's this? Oh, wait a minute. What's there next to it? Something out of the book. And books change the world. If you do some research, which I have, and look and see, where do ideologies come from? Where did the idea of America come from? It's an idea. It's supported by one piece of paper that you can go visit. It's in the Library of Congress downtown. It's a half-hour drive. An hour to find parking, and a half-hour drive. When you get there, there's a document, the original document, it's pasted on the wall. They just use a little paste and they put it on the wall. It's right there, and the whole idea of America comes from that one piece of paper. Somebody wrote it down and signed it, said, okay, this is what we're going to do for the next 200 and how many ever years we are now. And how did America get started in the first place? It's the same answer as you were given before. It was a book. Historians say that what sparked the revolution in the colonies, we were colonized by the British Crown, and everyone was subject to the Crown, and they didn't like it. But what got them going, what got them galvanized to break away from the Crown and take a lot of trouble to have a war and everything like that? A book. It's called Common Sense by Thomas Paine. You can read it. It's a really good book, and today it's the large best-selling book per capita of any book in history. Everybody in the colonies bought a copy of this book. And they read it, and that's what historians would say started the whole idea, like, let's break away. And how about selective evolution? Has anybody heard of it before? Any book, self-help book you read, by the time you get to the third page of the second chapter, the author's going to say, when we were cave people on the savannah, we were foraging. And they'll go into this whole diatribe. Where did the idea come from that we evolved from lower species? Same answer. Do you have this book? But you've heard the idea, right? Books change the world. Ideologies get implanted in society because of books. So originally books were handwritten, and then the original people who came up with the printing press were Christians. They wanted to spread the word of the Bible all over the world, so the first printing press was called the Gutenberg Black Bible, named after Gutenberg, who created the first printing press. And this is the first printing press that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur imported from America. It's come from Cleveland, Ohio. He had it shipped to Calcutta so he could print books. Books are containers. What are books?
Containers.
And what do they have inside?
Ideas.
And what about living entities? What are they called? What kind of energy are they?
Marginal energy.
Marginal means open to suggestion. That's why people advertise. Because you say drink Coca-Cola, because it's opening a bottle of happiness. That's one of their campaigns. Open a bottle of happiness. Is it opening a bottle of happiness when you open a bottle of Coca-Cola? No, Vasisesika Dasa. Bad Vasisesika. It's sugar water. And it tastes quite odd, frankly. And then they say, open a bottle of happiness, and they put a picture of a silent person or a successful person. They don't show the one with the teeth all rotted out. Nice smile, and they get see them all over the place. There's some attractive person guzzling Coca-Cola. So everyone buys Coca-Cola because they think, yeah. So living entities are open to suggestion, and our propagation of Krishna consciousness is, our success in it is not a mystery, it's a recipe. So we can follow the recipe and be successful. Here are the 4 laws of book distribution. Are you ready?
Yes.
First one is your sadhana must be strong. What's the first law of book distribution?
Your sadhana must be strong.
Yeah, it should be strict, serious, and sincere. We get a taste. When we have a taste, even if it's a tiny, tiny little taste, then we have something to distribute to other people. A close godbrother friend of mine once said, if you want to be successful in management, preaching, anything, you have to be blissful. That's the first law. And you can only be blissful if you have strong sadhana. Otherwise you get dragged into the 24-hour news cycle and you'll go insane. We have to become absorbed. When you do strict, serious, sincere sadhana, and you're able to enter into the book without being distracted to go somewhere else, and you can stay there and you can read for an hour and then feel, I'm released from the material whirlpool for a while. I can chant and I get to 16 and I think, I didn't really want to stop, but I have to move on. You were absorbed. From there, you can feel blissful, and then you can go out and in also to your family and not be grouchy because you're happy. And it doesn't matter how somebody else chews or if they're late by 2 minutes, you're happy. And when you go out to meet other people, it doesn't matter what they say to you because Hey, what do you care? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janaya Nashivayaranyam Gyanachaya. You have these assets that you feel happy, detached. You got knowledge. You know what's what. This is indispensable. You have to do strong sadhana. And then you're able to strip the overflow. How much overflow can you get from one molecule of realization or taste in chanting japa and reading and doing your sadhana? How much can you distribute? Enough to flood the world. One molecule can flood the whole world. So try to get one molecule of taste from your chanting. Krishna, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Ek bar nam shaktam matore. Just try one time to get ek bar, one time get a little, what was that? You're ready to go. Hey, everything's going to be okay because we're not our bodies and we're devotees of Krishna. The day starts the night before. Go to bed early, everybody. Get up for japa. Make japa great again. Win with the basics. Chapter a day. Read a chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. Small victories add up. Chiri motsavareva yamatanaru. Where's Rashmi? What does it mean? Chiri motsavareva yamatanaru. Chiri motsavareva yamatanaru. She speaks Japanese. Iniwa? It means little grains of dust add up to a mountain. In our practice, try to get a grain of dust, add it, turn it into Mount Fuji, Fuji-san. Please encourage the others to read Bhagavad Gita at least one chapter a day, Prabhupada said. Why not follow that? Really, why not follow it? Anybody have a good reason why not? Say I don't have time. Go ahead. Go ahead, somebody say it. I don't have time. It's not time, it's taste. Everything's taste. If you have a taste for something, you're just going to do it. That's what living entities do. That's how they roll. If you like something, no matter who says what to whom, you're going to go ahead and do it. Even if you're in prison, and they say, you stay locked up in that little cage, sir. And you say, okay, but I'm going to read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita a day. So as long as you come out and break rocks the rest of the day, that's fine. So Bhagavad Gita as is should be read by all of my students at least one chapter a day. Readchat.com. It's an organization dedicated to reading one chapter a day. There's an app, Be a Sage, page by page. You can go on there and discern how many pages a day you're going to read. And the second law of book distribution is you
Must get books.
They're available. When else in history have you been able to make one phone call or even make a text and then 3 days later you have a case of books on your porch? Tell me that. Previously, I used to write Rishi. I used to have writing by hand. How long would it take you to copy the whole Bhagavad Gita by hand?
A very long time.
Long time. Nowadays, high-speed printing, thanks to Gutenberg, thanks to the Royal Bible Society, thanks to Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, thanks for modern technologists for making printing available in the world, because now we can have Srimad Bhagavatam. If you make a phone call, you can have a pallet of Srimad Bhagavatams delivered to your house next week. Anybody want to try it? Why not do it? Just get them. If you get a whole pallet of Srimad Bhagavatams at your house, what would you do with them? Where would you put them? You put them in your house, right? Where?
In the temple.
Anywhere they fit. Just put them in there, see what happens. You want to try a social experiment? Why don't you put this on the internet, do a live stream? We have a small apartment, and we ordered a pallet of Srimad Bhagavatams that we couldn't even afford, but we did it anyway. How about you try this in the next week? And then you do one of those, what's it called? A reality show? You show the reaction of the kids coming home, what's all these boxes, invite your friends over, there's no place to sit, there's only boxes inside the house. How would your life change? You'd be distributing Bhakti. How else would your life change? What would happen? Would it be bad or good? Good. You sense good? Yeah. Would it be fun? Yeah. Would it be outrageous? Yeah. Would you be living on the edge? Yeah. Would everyone start coming over your house? No. Yeah, they come over your house and you have a seat. You can sit on boxes. Because we want to make more furniture. That's how to live. If you really want to live, order a whole pallet Put them in front of the refrigerator. Kids come home, give me a snack. Say, sure. Just distribute one set of avocado. Open the refrigerator for you. Get innovative. Do something outrageous. Getting on a Jolly Dude was outrageous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's going, what are you doing? It's like, order my spiritual master. I'm going to do the impossible thing. What? That's why we join a movement. We don't join for some humdrum. We join because we want some revolution in our life. We want to turn things on their head. We want to have some experience, take it to the moon. You got just a few minutes in this lifetime. Do something unusual. And here it's all lined up. Get the books. And then make an arrangement. Who knows what arrangement? As soon as you put them in your house, you're going to be on CNN. There will be helicopters flying around. Say, there's the house down there. There's no room in the house. It's only Shumapan. People will be calling you on the phone. How do we get one of those sets of Shumapan? They're texting in. Next thing you know, your whole house turns into a distribution center and people want to come and stay with you and they camp outside on your lawn. Because you've got a movement going on. That's how the Hare Krishna movement started. It's not some bureaucracy. It's pray hard. Chant hard. Read Bhagavad Gita with your heart and soul. Take risks to go out and spread Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, life's a huge bore. Just playing prevent defense all day long. I don't want to get there. I don't want to take a risk. That's boring. We're in it for the excitement. We want a movement and we want to be part of it. So get books. And you can't distribute books you don't have. We did double-blind studies in Ivy League universities, and they came up with this conclusion. So get books. Look at that, a beautiful sight, books being loaded in. When you see pallets of books coming into your house, to your Hare Krishna center, that's health. That's a sign of health. When there's no place to put them anymore, you're going to invent more space to put the books. Now you know you've got a successful corporation because the main product is increasing. Get them in all languages. Don't cheat people. Just bring in one language. If you have in many languages, every town and village means every language. Use language cards. Language cards we'll talk about later, but it's the way to distribute books to people who speak a different language than you. You don't have to say a word, and you'll be 100% successful, I guarantee it, or I'll pay for every book that you can't distribute using one method. Third law is?
The more you sell.
You gotta work with me on this. What's the third law?
The more you sow, the more you sell.
Think about that. All you have to do is show it because living entities are traveling throughout the whole world and they're just looking for something nice and they're not finding it. They're not satisfied by looking at box stores. Costco, boring. Downtown, square buildings, little glass on the outside, boring. Kills the soul. They want beauty. And if you show them the beauty of Krishna book, if you show them the beauty of the Bhagavad Gita, that's what the soul wants. All you have to do is show it. You don't have to say anything. Do what the Russians do in Vrindavan. They just stand out there and they go like this. I said, I've never seen such a technique like that. You just stand there. Do they sell books? Of course they do. Because they're just showing it. Is it the best technique? I don't know. But it works because they're showing books. If that's all you do, if you go down to the corner, what's the corner on the big intersection where everybody turns to get off the road? Just go down there. Somebody experiment one day. Take 4 hours. Take 1 hour. And just stand there with Bhagavad Gita and hold it like that. I guarantee you somebody's going to pull over and buy a Bhagavad Gita from you. Because what did you do?
Just show.
The more you show, the more you sell. It's a simple principle. Living entities, they grab onto things when they see them, and you have to show them Krishna consciousness. There's different ways to show. There's tables. This is interesting. And there are myriad ways of making visible. Everyone stand up. Reach toward the ceiling and say Gauranga.
Gauranga.
This time reach out and say Gauranga really slow.
Gauranga.
Really slow.
Gauranga.
One time super slow. I feel better. Devotees on the street in the cold. Cold weather is best time to distribute a book. Freezing cold. When your hands are, you're wondering if you're going to have fingers when you come back. It's so nice. You're out there in the freezing elements. Or if it's raining outside, we found a spike in distribution on those days when it's pouring rain. Because everyone, for some reason, they start showing pity. You know what the biggest spike in book distribution we've had in recent history? 2020, starting in April. When was that?
COVID.
Huh? Pandemic, worldwide, everyone shut down. I can show you the statistics, but it looks like this. Boom! We went through the roof. So go out into the elements. Get some warm boots and some mittens. And go out in the rain, get a nice umbrella. Stay out there and feel what it's like to do something like Krishna and Sudama did. They went out looking for wood for their guru during a rainstorm. They got trapped out there. That was their most cherished memory together when they met again in Dwarka. Remember that?
Yes.
As they were doing some sacrifice for their guru, and then they got trapped in a rainstorm. Their guru came looking for them. So they were carrying wood. When we carry books, we're also carrying wood. That's Samitpani Shotri Brahmani. Samitpani means carrying wood for your guru. So if you carry the books, you're carrying books for the founder Acharya. You're carrying them around. They come from trees. Oh, knocking on doors. When you knock on a door, then your heart goes. That's where you want to be. Don't be on your couch going. Be like this. That's where you want to live. So why do you go door to door? So you can be in that zone. You knock on the door and say, Krishna, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Who's going to come to the door? Will they shoot me? Will they be nice? What will happen? We don't know. But it's the most exciting thing you can do. And if you want to have an exciting life, go door to door. Knock on every door. Figure out how many doors there are in Maryland. And then make a chart. Make an app. Make an app, engineers. Make an app for every door in Maryland and say, how many doors do we have to knock between now and, I don't know, how many years do we want to have to knock every door in Maryland? 5 years. How many doors, make an estimate, do you have to knock over 5 years per weekend in order to knock on every door in Maryland? Yeah. Come on. Isn't there some statistics people in there?
5,000.
5,000 a weekend? Mathematicians who paid $120,000 for an education. How many, approximately? Loka? What does Brown University say?
50.
He's checking how many doors there are. That's what you do. You figure out how many doors are there in Maryland and say, how many years will it take us to knock on every door? And then you start a campaign. And you say, hey, everybody in the community, you want to see if we can knock on every door in Maryland? And then everyone will be going every weekend. Boom, 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 boom. And you come back in the kirtan, everyone will be jumping towards the ceiling. Because they're so excited. Because they're going door to door. And their hearts are jumping because they're taking shelter of Krishna. We'll get the answer in just a minute. Yes?
9,735.
9,735 doors to knock every weekend.
Every weekend.
And how many people are in the congregation? Somebody? Break it down. How many doors do we each have to knock in the whole congregation in order to do 9,735 in one weekend?
100.
What? 300 each. Could you do that in one day? Knock 300 doors? Say yes.
Yes.
Now you got movement. Now you got some excitement. This is the Sankirtan movement. We got a whole palette out there. It's the whole world. Every door in Maryland. Start the Every Door in Maryland brand. And then you're the yatra that goes to every single door. Doesn't matter what kind of door it is, you go there and you knock it and you present Krishna consciousness. Do you think anything good comes from that?
Yes.
You better say yes.
Yes.
That's where it all happens.
If there's 300 devotees knocking on doors, each devotee only has to knock 32 doors.
32 doors, let's go right now. Seriously, 32 doors. What if you said, this weekend, everybody in the congregation, all 300, were each going to knock on 32 doors? How would the congregation feel?
Nice.
Huh? What's the word?
Nice.
Nice. Go on. Where's some poets in here? Give me some words. Bhagavad Shrai, give us something.
Inspired.
Huh?
Ecstatic.
Inspired.
Immersed.
Euphoric.
Getting it.
Huh?
Warming up.
We feel connected to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We feel connected. Who went out door to door? Tell me what exalted personality went out. Nityananda, he's Balaram. He went door to door. How about who else?
Haridas Thakur.
Haridas Thakur went door to door. Who else? Bhaktivinoda Thakur went door to door. And Advaitacharya went door to door. What was Lord Nityananda's method? Knock on the door, roll on the ground, refuse to get up unless they chant, go run it. Yeah, try it. We've done it before. And you knock on the door, and there was a couple in there. They said, "Oh, you know, we're Muslim, we're not interested." And we got on our knees. There were two of us. We got on our knees, and we wouldn't let them close the door because we were like this. Please take it. And it was back and forth for half an hour. And the lady in the house finally convinced her husband to come away from the television because he was just ignoring us. And he came over and he said, "Okay." And he became happy. So try for it. Fight for it. Go out and do something outrageous for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but be really nice and leave everyone with a good impression. Look at these places you can meet people. Festivals. Number 4, law of book distribution.
You must organize.
You must organize. Say it.
You must organize.
You must organize. So, as you move forward, you can find ways to make it a little bit better. Make a list of all the improvements. Don't complain about it. Just write them down. And then fix up a little bit at a time. Prabhupada made the 7 purposes of ISKCON to distribute books. He said by that we'll achieve the aforementioned. Well, how much more time do we have?
1 o'clock.
Okay. I've given you a little bit of legacy. I've told you how I feel about book distribution to some degree. And now I'm going to tell you some specifics about how to distribute books in certain, to certain kinds of people. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. So, first, just look at me. I'm going to talk about, well, maybe I'll go to the slideshow. Now, this is speed learning, so just watch carefully. Are you getting all this?
No.
Don't worry, it's going in your subconscious. You'll have some stuff. All this is to be consumed later. It's coming out in the next book. I get one slide to move for every 7 clicks. Isn't that interesting? Or maybe we store them all up and then it'll go really fast. Is that right? Oh, no. Okay, look here. And when we get there, we'll do it. I don't want to take too much time to find it because I can explain it to you very easily. First of all, there's a conundrum, and I want to tell you what it is. It's when you go out and you meet Indians to distribute books, especially Bhagavad Gita. If you present the Bhagavad Gita to an Indian, they will say, I have this, I know this, my mother read Bhagavad Gita, my grandmother memorized Bhagavad Gita. That's what they're going to say. So, here's my technique, and whatever technique I'm teaching is not absolute, it's just my technique. And it works for me, you can try it if you want, but I guarantee it. And if you try my techniques and they don't work, for every book you don't sell using my exact technique, send me the bill, I'll pay for it. For every book, okay? Yes? All right. So, Indians, don't hand them anything.
No.
Say it again. Don't hand them anything, not even prasadam. Don't give them anything. When you meet them, as soon as you hand them a card, if you hand them a Bhagavad Gita, it's finished. They're immediately offended, and here's why. They feel guilty. They're working hard. They have to go to work. They wish they would read Bhagavad Gita, but they haven't opened it in ever. And they have a sense that they should. And it's like if you approach a Christian and you say, here's a Bible. What do they say to you? What do you think this is? I met a Muslim person before. I was going door to door, and a young man gave me 4 cans of soda, a Koran, and a book about the Koran as a donation. So I accepted it. And then about half an hour later, a person walked across the parking lot, and he said, I showed him the Gita, he said, I'm a Muslim. I said, okay, here's the Koran. I said I'm a Muslim. So then I showed him the book about the Koran, and he gave a donation. So there's a way in which, when you don't hand them anything, then they have nothing to reject. So what I do is I talk to them, and I say, as you know better than me. I say that mantra.
As you know better than me.
Or should it be, as you know better than I? I'm sorry. As you know better than I.
As you know better than me.
That's your preface to whatever you tell them. As you know better than I.
As you know better than I.
Then you can tell them stuff and say, the Bhagavad Gita is a famous book, and I know that you know the Bhagavad Gita.
I know that you know the Bhagavad
Your
Gita.
mother reads Bhagavad Gita.
Your mother reads Bhagavad
Your
Gita.
grandmother memorized Bhagavad Gita.
Your grandmother memorized Bhagavad Gita.
You just said all the things they were about to say to you. And don't hand it to them. And then you say, as you know better than I, there are many problems in the world, and they can be solved only from a spiritual position. And as you know better than I, the great asset of India, the great jewel of India is the Bhagavad Gita. We are translated it into Mandarin, into German, into French, into Spanish, into Swahili, into Zulu, and we're distributing it all over the world for world peace. And today we're doing a fundraiser, and we are collecting money. What are we doing? We're doing a
Fundraising.
We're collecting
Money.
They immediately then say, how much can I give? They'll say, I don't have cash. We say, we don't take cash. We take MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Launch Diners Club, Cash App, Venmo, all of them. And they will very happily donate. After they donate, then you give them everything. You give them prasadam, you give them the Bhagavad Gita, you give them a stack of books, whatever. Then they're happy to take it. But if you do it front-end loading, they feel immediately as if you're insulting their intelligence and you're making them feel guilty. That's why they reject it. And my method works, and if you try it, you'll see that it worked for you too. Just make sure you follow it completely. Any questions on that first part? Questions? Yeah.
Many times they will say, oh, you go to the temple, we'll give a donation at the temple.
When they say, I go to the temple, I give a donation to the temple, say, that's why we picked you out. You look like a person who goes to the temple and gives a donation to the temple. When anybody gives an objection, we always honor the objection. For instance, that they say, I already give. And you say, that's why we picked you out. You look like somebody who always gives. In fact, we were talking about it before you approached. He was saying, you point to your friend, he was saying, he looks like somebody who always gives. And they say, I had given the temple. I said, we could tell. You know, when we first saw you, you look like the kind of person who always gives at the temple. That's why we even decided to talk to you. And today, the temple came to you. And so, it's practically a miracle. We didn't know you lived here. You didn't know we were coming, it must be Krishna's arrangement. That's what we normally say when I get to the temple. But we don't push them too hard. We don't want to push anybody too hard. It goes back to the right fruit. There's a joyful, blissful way to present to people, to honor in a slightly humorous way that we already knew that. We appreciate your objection so much, and we honor you in whatever you're objecting to, and we're still offering it to you. If you sense any slight friction, back off. I always back off and just let them go. Let them loose. The right fruits are out there. The more you're selective and the less you try to convince or push people into a corner they don't want to go in, the more blissful you'll be. Just live a happy life. Go out and find the right fruits and don't worry about being a master at cornering people, tricking them, making them give more, whatever. Just be happy and find the nice people. There's a few little humorous things you can do to help them along over that edge where they're just lazy to reach for their pocket. And you can just inspire them and they won't mind. They'll be happy afterwards. But leave everyone with a good impression. What should you do?
Good impression.
Yes. And now as far as presenting the Bhagavad Gita as it is. The Bhagavad Gita as it is, may I have a hardback copy, please? Is a world-renowned and revered book. Many people already know Bhagavad Gita. Many people are looking for Bhagavad Gita. People will benefit by reading the Bhagavad Gita. And when I present the Bhagavad Gita, the first step is to make conscious contact with whomever I'm going to present it to. The way I do that is I make eye contact. Can I make eye contact with everybody?
Yes.
No, because some people don't want to make eye contact. If somebody doesn't want to make eye contact with me, should I chase them?
No.
No. If somebody makes eye contact with me and I say hi, and they go like this, should I chase them?
No.
If I make eye contact and I say hi to people and they go, should I chase them?
No.
If I make eye contact and they say hi and they go, should I chase them?
No.
No. If I make eye contact and they say hi and they go like this, should I approach them?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a scale from 1 to 10. And when you get to 5 is like this. Smile, no teeth. That means, not really. 5.1, little teeth come through. Now you're at 5.1, there's a possibility that you can approach them. 5.2, 5. You get up to 7, they'll come running at you and say like, give me a book, I've been looking for the Bhagavad Gita. 10, they'll just say, where's your ashram? I'm joining. Honestly, a scale. That's why the Bhagavatam says be very selective. When you find people that are 5.1 and above, feel free. And if you want to change the setting a little bit so you have an easier time, just move it up to 5.3. Say, I'm only talking to people that really appreciate the fact that I just said hi to them. And then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to convince anybody. 5.3s, they're going to be easy fruits that come off in your hand. So the first thing is to make conscious contact with people, with your eyes. And then you look and see what is the response to you. And you judge it on a scale of 1 to 10. And you get good at this. You can even practice without reading books, just saying hi to people and see where are they on the scale. And when you get good at seeing where's 5.1, where's 5.3, where's a 6, where's a 7, then you start to understand, now my opening is there, and according to how much you want to exert yourself, you can do it, according to how they respond to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay, so the next thing is ask a qualifying question. Do what?
Qualifying question.
If you walk up to people and say, here, they have no idea what you're handing them, they have no idea why you're handing them, and they assume the worst, that you're going to ask them for money, or you're going to try to convert them right on the spot. You're going to give them a Srimad Bhagavatam class, and you're going to be there for an hour, and he's going to miss his flight. So, make sure you qualify people, and here's an easy way to qualify people. I'm from California. Where are you from? Baltimore. I love Baltimore because of the Orioles. So, this is from San Francisco to Baltimore. I qualify him because of where he lives, and the Bhagavatam says, this is a bona fide way to do it because Yasyatma Buddhi Kunapetri. That there's a way in which everyone identifies with their body, and Boma Ijidi means they worship their homeland. So if you ask anybody where they're from, where are you from? Yeah.
Russia.
What part of Russia?
Far East.
Far East Russia. I studied Far East Russia. That's a cool place. Am I now your instant friend? Yeah, because I appreciate your hometown. Where are you from? I'm from California. Where are you from?
I'm from Ashburn, Virginia.
Ashburn, Virginia. I love Ashburn, Virginia. I know a bunch of people from Ashburn, Virginia. Are we kind of connected now? Yeah, because I like your hometown. I'm from California. Where are you from? Ashburn. No.
I'm from Macklin, Virginia.
Macklin, Virginia. Right. Virginia is for
Lovers.
Yeah, I love that place. Whatever it is, relate to their Boma EGD and qualify them. You tell where you're from, you ask where they're from, and as soon as they tell you, I'm from New York. New York? New York's famous. I love New York. Where else are you from? Huh? Where? Oh, sorry. Columbus. Columbus. Fantastic. Named after an explorer. Or whatever it may be, you have some repertoire so you get some sense of connection with people. So this is what we call qualifying. So first is make conscious connection, we call it. Second is
Ask a qualifying question.
and not saying, are you from here? And then saying no, and then they'll just keep walking. Say, I'm from California. Where are you from? Say that.
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Where
So
are you?
then, when they say they're from someplace, you appreciate the place they're from. Then you say, oh, great, as if that's what opened the door for this transaction. This is from California to Baltimore. Now, as I'm handing the book over, I tell them a little bit about the book. Books on yoga and meditation. Books on yoga and meditation.
Books on yoga and meditation.
How to get free from stress. 2 sentences. Books on yoga and meditation.
And how to get free from it.
So they have a little idea of what it's about by the time it hits their hand. And then I ask them another question because questions are a hook. They hold everything in place and they move the conversation forward. So I say, you've heard of stress, right? And if they say, what if you say no? It's okay. Next thing I say, really? Because you don't look very stressed. And they say, no, I haven't heard of stress. And I say, I can tell, you don't look very stressed. Then I say, don't mind me saying this, but you look spiritual. Turn to the person next to me and say, don't mind me saying this, but you look spiritual.
Don't mind me saying this, but you look spiritual.
Say it back to the other person.
Since the moment I'm continuously holding this phone and recording my Prabhuji.
Now say it back to her. And how did you feel when you said that?
Good.
If somebody comes up to you in the morning and they say, you look tired, how do you feel the rest of the day? Somebody comes up to you and says, you look terrible, how do you feel? Looking in the mirror going, God, I do. Or maybe I need a little work done or something. So there's a way in which when you say they look spiritual, they instantly become self-realized. Because their spirit soul caught in a material body, been in the material world for millions of lifetimes, and suddenly someone walks up, first person ever, in a billion lifetimes, and says, you look spiritual. And then they go, hey, wait a minute, I am spiritual, I'm not this body. I'm part of the spiritual world, I'm connected to the super soul. It's an amazing question, or it's an amazing thing to tell people. And you put a little preface, don't mind me saying this, but you look spiritual. And then comes the next question. Get ready for it. What's your secret?
What's your secret? What's your secret? Association of devotees.
Changes everything. Because when you're presenting to people anywhere for the first time, there's a subtle feeling that they have, and that is that this person is condescending to me. Otherwise, why would they be stopping me with the book? What they want to do is tell me the following: you're messed up, I'm going to fix you. They don't like that. Nobody likes it. If somebody comes up to you and say, you know, Prabhu, you're really blowing it. I'm going to show you how to really get it together. You'll bristle. No, you won't. Other ordinary people would. So there's a way that after you say you look spiritual, you say, what's their secret? Let them give the answer. And the answer they give is something about their lifestyle. Like if they're in the mode of ignorance, they'll say, I smoke pot. If they're in the mode of passion, they'll say, I'm so organized, I go to every self-help seminar there is. If they're in the mode of goodness, they'll say, I do meditation, I go to the forest. And they'll give some kind of answer, and then your reaction is, I know it, I could tell you were spiritual. And that's when you take it back and say, here, I'll show you really quick. How fast are you going to show them? Really quick. Everyone get out of their minds going, oh, your light's going to change, I got to get an ice cream. You know, the whole thing's going on in their minds. Really quick. Show them the back cover, and you say, Thoreau, Emerson, Gandhi. Those are on the back cover. Then you can put in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, Beatles, Tupac Shakur. And then open it up to the Sanskrit and say, this has been translated over 500 times, and show him the Sanskrit and say, can you read this? He can read it. Pretend you're showing down the street. Okay, no, you can't read it. I was just testing you, I'm only kidding. It's translated in English. And out of all the translations, now I'm turning to the front page. This has become the most popular academically, and I showed them 2 universities. Have you heard of the University of Southern California? Say yes.
Yes.
Have you heard of Georgetown University?
Yes.
Say yes. And then, that's all you have to do. Just say, you've seen these, you point to them, then turn to the first picture, not the first picture in the set. The first picture that shows changing bodies. You see this?
Yes.
And say, here, look, life's a quick journey. We start here, we end up here, we're just passing through. Where are you in all this? He said right here, and then you turn to the next page and say, this shows a self-realized person. A self-realized person treats everyone with respect. Say that.
Self-realized person treats everyone with respect.
He or she sees the spirit within everyone. And then you ask another question. You've heard of karma, right?
Yeah, karma, right?
What does it mean to you?
What does it mean to you?
No, I'm asking you. What is it? So I say, you've heard karma, and they go, yeah. And they say, what does it mean to you?
When we do good, good comes back.
Whoa! You said when you do good, good comes back, then you go like this. Whoa! Do that. Whoa!
Wow.
I really like the way you put things.
I really like the way you put things.
More people in the world.
More people in the world.
Like you.
Like you.
A better place to live.
Whoa.
What does karma mean to you?
Reaction is reaction.
Whoa! I really like the way you put things.
I really like the way you put things.
More people in the world.
More people in the world.
Like you.
I like you.
A better place to live.
The better place to live.
Okay. So next thing is, you ask them what do they do professionally. What do you do professionally? What kind of architect?
IT architect.
IT architect. Look at this guy used to be a Are there any Sunday school teachers in here? Yes, okay. What do you do professionally?
I'm a researcher,
No,
scientist.
you're a Sunday school teacher. What do you do professionally?
I'm a Sunday school teacher.
Really, this guy used to be a Sunday school teacher. So as soon as you tell them that, half the people laugh. The other half people go, really? Because they don't want to be disrespectful. And for them, you say, no, not really, I'm just kidding. And then they laugh. And as soon as they're laughing, they go, here, we don't sell it like in a store. We just take a donation. They cost around 10 to print. We don't need the money. Anything you give over that is a donation. It's an ancient tradition. When you give something in return for spiritual knowledge, it connects you to that knowledge and the teachers who have passed it down. It allows you to go deeply within it. One of the ways that I talk about the donation, which is kind of where the rubber meets the road, is I say we don't need money. And you're not, if you want to try this technique, it's very successful for me, but I say it's not even required. But when you give something in return for spiritual knowledge, it connects you. You totally let them off the hook. and just say, we don't need the money, it's not even required, but when you give something in return, there's a little synapse there when you say it's not required, where they have free will to then say, I'll give. And if you want to try that and play around with it and see what happens when you present like that, you'll notice that when people are free to make their own choice, you're not wedging them into it. Oftentimes, they give more joyfully, and they give freely, and they also give more for the book. And the other part of it is, it always comes out in the wash, because there's a way in which some people give more, some people give less, but I'm looking for an average mean, and I don't mind as long as it comes out fine. The main principle is to leave everyone with a good impression and make them feel good about the transaction. Now, when they've given a donation, I ask them if they believe in the power of prayer. Do you guys believe in the power of prayer?
Yes.
What if you say no? You believe in the power of prayer? No. Perfect. I'll give you a mantra. So you always have something ready with a yes or no question to say, oh good, I'm going to do the opposite. So I'll give you a mantra. If they say, yes, I believe in the power of prayer, then you show them a mantra card. And you say, I'm going to teach you this beautiful prayer or mantra that's meant to wake up love for God within your heart. All say it, then you can repeat, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Say, are you ready? Because then they don't have really time to think a lot about it. And then they say, please repeat, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Then give them prasadam. Always have prasadam with you. And get their contact information. So if they want to follow up, they can join your next program where you've created an environment that's perfect for new people. So they feel welcome. There's somebody that holds their hand to get into it and gets introduced to the program. And when you have a program that's perfectly suited for the next step, then you'll find that on every Sankirtan outing or weekend, you're going to find 5, 7 new people that are seekers that want to join your tailor-made program so that they can hear more about the basics of Krishna consciousness. Everyone please stand up. Please reach to the sky and say,
Gauranga. Gauranga. Go.